Now, even though the narrator, he used to tickle Henry on his ribs, but Henry, it never bit narrator. Okay, his legs used to be filled up with air. It used to change its color from green to red, and he would sit up on the hind legs from, and it used to hop from side to side. Okay, and his mouth used to be very wide. All right, and he used to lay out an angry hiss, but it did not bite the narrator. Now, and through with this act, the narrator realized that Henry was a harmless fellow. Even during his wildest moments, when the narrator, he used to put his finger in Henry's mouth, it would simply allow the narrator to take out his finger from there, but it never pointed. Okay, why? Because he thought that only purpose of having so strong teeth was to chewing the food. Now, one day what happened, there was a papaya orchard in the narrator's house. Okay, now grandmother, one day she decided to send a basket full of papayas to her friend Mrs. Ghosh. And who was Mrs. Ghosh? She was the principal of a nursery school. And definitely, if we have orchards at our places, we are used to send fruits and vegetables to our friends and relatives and neighbors. Okay, now what happened when that gardener was carrying the basket? All of a sudden, Henry crept inside that basket and he went over there. Now, over there, when after making the rounds in Mrs. Ghosh's school, when she came to inspect the papayas, who came out? Obviously, Henry popped out. And just because it popped out, Mrs. Ghosh, she screamed, and Henry squinted up at her and he was revolving his eyes furiously, and Mrs. Ghosh again. And Henry was changing its color from green, yellow to red. And again, after hearing Mrs. Ghosh's scream, one more teacher came rushing towards her, and then Henry was terrified because all of them were shouting again and again. And then from the office, he went to the corridor and then went inside the classroom. He then, over there inside the classroom, he climbed on the desk, and all the children were moving in all the directions, running. Somebody was running to catch Henry while away, and while someone was scared of him, and there was a great commotion inside the classroom. And then Henry finally made it exit. And now narrator's grandmother, she heard about this incident, but she did not tell Mrs. Ghosh that it was our pet chameleon. Why? Because she was afraid that it would spoil their friendship. Okay, now after some time, they found that Henry was sitting on the garden wall. Okay, perhaps why? Because he thought that this was the safest place, and that is why he decided to never run out of the garden. And this is what the story about the Henry.